Hi there, I'm Chris Devine and this is Six String World. So today's Gear of the Year item is the Strymon Iridium. I know it looks like a distortion pedal, but it's not a distortion pedal. It's an amp and cab simulator, and it uses impulse responses to generate the speaker emulations. Now, you've heard this on all the videos I've done up to this point, and hopefully in the future, with the exception of episode 0 where I used a Boss GT1000 core. Now what you have here is a drive control for the overdrive and distortion, a level for the overall output level, a 3-band EQ, and a room control. The room function is kind of like an ambient room reverb. You can kind of adjust the room size from small to medium to large, and the knob will respond accordingly. I'll be honest with you, I really haven't messed with this for anything under the hood as far as adjusting anything on this. I've kept this in stock mode right out of the box and haven't changed a thing. The amp models you get in here are round, which is a kind of a Fender Deluxe reverb, and then the chime is the middle one, which is a Vox AC30, and the punch is a Marshall Plexi, and I believe it's a Super Lead 1959 model if I remember the manual from Strymon. Now, you also do get 3 variations of cab emulations, but here's where Strymon went a step further. When it's in Fender mode, the cab choices are basically cabinets that are designed to work for Fender style amps. And the Vox mode, it does the same thing. And the same speaker choices that for the Marshall, again, are tuned to what that Marshall sound is. So basically they're all set. There's no tweaking around or anything like that. So I've played through a lot of different hardware and software plugins and amp sims, and in my experience, it's never sounded good running a Marshall into a Fender Vibrolux cabinet or a Champ into a 4x12 cabinet. So letting Strymon define those amp and speaker models to match the amps to themselves just makes a lot of sense, and it eliminates a lot of the, hey, let's try this approach that usually never works out and just wastes time. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the studio and the engineer was, thumbing through presets of amp sims and plugins and trying to match amps and cabs. And sometimes he just wanted something different just because he thought something different would be really kind of cool. And in many cases, I didn't want that. I just wanted to sound like a Marshall or a Fender or a Vox. And I didn't need to go into any weirdo esoteric matching cabinets that normally didn't come with amps in a certain way, and there's a reason why. They probably don't sound that great. Now, I'll list my favorite 3 versions that I like on this. The one of them is the Fender, obviously with a 1x12 cabinet, especially for clean. It's just that perfect clean sound. For the crunch, I love running the Vox through the Mezzo 412 cabinet. It keeps that top end, you get that nice chime, but you still get plenty of bottom, and throughout the drive control, it sounds fantastic, and it's great for rhythms. It's fantastic on leads as well, and I tell you, it's one of those like go-to sounds I love to use. But it's really also, industry standard, a Marshall with their 1969 cabinet for, lead and rhythms. They're fantastic. So there's really, it's very easy just to select, find one you want to work with, and you're done with it. Now, you can also load your own impulse responses if you want. Strymon has a piece of software you can download, put on your computer, and via the USB connection on the back here, you can go in there and deep dive and load your own impulse responses that you may have created or maybe you've purchased. So that's a really great option to go under the hood and give you some real customization in there. Now, I'm not going to go into all the different cab models here. I'm going to put the link in the area below so you can see Strymon's website and you can do your own deep dive into what it has to offer. I will tell you that my favorite ways to use this right now is running my pedal board into the Strymon, and then on the bottom here, there's a headphone out. And I connect a set of headphones into it and have my pedal board going through. With the Fender tone, it really kind of responds just like my Fender amp that I use when I'm playing live or at my band practice. This gives me the ability to tweak the drive pedals and as well as anything I'm trying to work out, but I don't have my amp here with me. So it really gives me that opportunity to work this out before I get to band practice. Now, this also means I don't annoy my neighbors. I live in a condominium. I have neighbors upstairs, and the headphone function just makes sense. And I've used it a lot in this fashion. And a lot of times when I've used a cab sim or a headphone style amp, they don't sound good. There's always something a bit off that makes it not fun to play with. And I've tried it with, a variety of things. I've had tablet amp sims and, ones on my iPhone or even on my computer. And I'm always tweaking something. It seems like I'm trying to find a sound that's usually right there on my pedal board. And when I just connect this up to my pedal board and a set of headphones, well, I just seem to play more and not try to tweak or adjust or find sounds that I already have, which is fantastic. I've also run this into my Focusrite interface and piped the audio on the back right through, right into the interface of my Focusrite, and then hear it through the monitors that I've got here in my studio. So it really works well for recording, and I can monitor myself as well. And as I said, I'm using this for all the guitar parts in the videos I'm doing, so it's really become quite a useful little piece of kit. Now, you can use this live, but not into a guitar amp. If you had a full range speaker, maybe like one of the Head Rush or maybe a PA system, you could definitely work with that. That would be a better way of going about it. One of those definitely makes sense. If you run it into a house PA system, you could run this instead of running an amp, but you would have to use either floor wedges or in-ear monitors to monitor for your own self on stage. The audience would have no problem hearing you if it's going through the front of house in the mix as well. So that's a really good option, but plugging straight into a guitar amp like a Twin or a Hot Rod Deluxe or anything else, it's not going to be a great experience, I can tell you that. At this point, this pretty much lives on my desktop, and I really don't plan on using it live. I do plan on bringing this to the studio a lot. I've had a lot of different cab emulators and speaker sim devices over the years, and at this point, this is by far the most flexible one that I've experienced. And there's not a lot of fuss. It just works, and it sounds and feels like an amp at a much lower volume. And I have to tell you, with doing a lot of playing at home these days, and doing a lot of home recording, this is just a wonderful little device that I'm very surprised I haven't dug into earlier. So this is a very cool piece of kit, and it is definitely something that's going to get a lot of use in the studio as well as on these videos, and hopefully just for my own practicing as well. So I'm really looking forward to putting this through its paces in the future. And so I'd like to find out, how about you guys? Are you using an amp and sim device for your practicing or in recording? Or are you just using your volume levels just to make sure your neighbors upstairs don't complain about any excessive noise? Leave a comment in the space below. I'd love to hear about it. If you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon will let you know when I put up a new video. And if you like this video, you can click the thumbs up, and if you want to share it, there's a button for that as well, allowing you to share and post this to social media and text or email to whomever you think might find it interesting. So anyways, that's my video for Gear of the Year 2020. Today's is the Strymon Iridium. Well worth checking out, and I'd love to hear what you guys think of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.